Rain and Moon Tarot ASMR. Hello there. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Here we do ASMR tarot readings for the collective, and for today's reading I realized that I somehow have never done a relationship reading, so that is going to be the focus of our reading today. And there were a few things that I did want to say about that. So this reading is a bit of a relationship check-in reading, and I will ask you to choose one relationship in your life to look at today, to check in with. And this relationship could be one that is in a fairly good place, but you just kind of like to tune in and see what's up there. Or it could be a relationship that's maybe a little off kilter at the moment. I would say, though, choose a relationship that is more or less nourishing to you in your life, not one that is very, very out of balance. The other couple caveats to choosing the relationship are that I really did design this to be about two adults in relationship to each other, and this could be family, this could be friendship, this could be romantic. That part really doesn't matter, but it wouldn't work quite as well for, say, a parent-child relationship. It really is designed to look at an adult relationship, because part of what we're looking at is how things are balanced, and an adult-child relationship is kind of necessarily unbalanced because of the needs of a child, and because of that particular, just the way that that dynamic works. And lastly, something that I honestly forgot to consider until I started filming was that if you're in a poly relationship, so with two or more other people, this really is designed for the dynamic between two people. So I would recommend choosing one of the people that you're in relationship with to look at. I do apologize for that, and hopefully I'll try and create something in the future that looks at that particular dynamic a little bit more. So yeah, that's, I think, that in terms of the reading itself. As always, before I get started, I'm going to set the space with a little bit today with some spray, some citrine spray from Madame Phoenix, which is sunshine in a bottle. This stuff is so good. And then I will also be lighting a candle and setting an intention for our session. So we'll begin with our citrine spray. This one actually has a little citrine tumble in it, and I am getting to the bottom of this, which means that I get to keep the stone soon. Okay, let's get our space nice and set. Now that our space is set, and before we start drawing cards, I am going to light our candle and set an intention for this session. On behalf of your highest and greatest good and my own, we call upon sacred, benevolent guidance within us and without that is in perfect alignment for this reading. May this reading be conducted only in our highest and greatest good. May each card drawn bless us with its unique medicine, and may we be open and receptive to this healing guidance. May we gain the perspective needed to be present with what is, to tend what is calling for our tending, and to move as appropriate, ever towards aligned and empowered growth. This we make true, and so it is. We will be using the 5th Spirit Tarot today by Charlie Claire Burgess. Okay, so we are going to be pulling 6 cards today. It's a little bit of a long one. And the first card that we're going to pull is going to give us an idea of the current dynamic in the relationship. The second card is going to tell us what you bring to the relationship when you show up as your wise and centered self. The third card will tell us what the other party brings to the relationship when they show up as their wise and centered self. Then we are going to ask, where could there be some improvement in the relationship at this time? What is unbalanced? And lastly, we will ask, there's 2 more cards. The next question is, what is the root of this imbalance? And the last card will tell us some message of support for the health of the relationship. Okay, I'm going to fan out the cards and use our trusty feather pen to choose them. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. Card number 4. Card number 5. Card number 6. Nope. Card number 6. Card number 1, the current dynamic, we have the Hermit. Card number 2, what you bring to the relationship, we have the Moon. Card number 3, what you receive from the relationship, we have the Page of Cups. Card number 4, where there could be improvement at this time, we have the Queen of Cups. Card number 5, the root cause of this imbalance is the Ace of Pentacles. And our last card, a card for the health of the relationship, we have the Emperor. Okay, so before we even get started with the individual cards, I am struck by the fact that we have 3 major arcana cards in this reading, and majors are about big, overarching life lessons. So it's never quite just about the one thing. Through that thing, you are learning and growing on a soul level. So obviously, if you picked this relationship, it is really important to you, and the cards are confirming that. Now, our card for the dynamic of this relationship currently is the Hermit. And this kind of confirms that for me, because the Hermit indicates that both of you, or at least you, at this time, are focused a little bit more on yourselves. You're getting to know who you are on a deeper than surface level, on a level that doesn't really include what you do for a living or your likes and dislikes, the parts of our identity that are externally based. And those parts are important, there's nothing wrong with them, but under the surface you are a more rich and complex character than any identity could truly encompass. And you are focused at the moment on getting to know who that is, who you are under the surface. You are communing with your inner light and learning to let it guide you. And this is okay. In relationships, especially long-standing ones, we learn and we grow and we have to reassess who we are and what the relationship is meant to look like now. So that is the current dynamic surrounding the relationship. The focus is more on the individual people and less on the relationship itself, but through that focus, through figuring out who you are now versus potentially when you got into this relationship, you can then begin to discover how the relationship can shift and change so that it is more authentic to who both of you are, who both of you are growing into. Now, what you bring to this relationship when you show up as your wisest and most centered self. And this is just one thing. We bring so many things to all of the relationships in our lives, even the ones that aren't quite as deep as some other ones. You bring moon card energy. You bring wildness. You bring authenticity. And you bring a willingness to step in to the unknown, to follow your gut, your intuition, your heart, your wildest self. You bring bravery, and you offer a hand to your partner to help them to walk bravely into the night, bravely into their wild self, bravely towards the moon. Now, what you receive from this relationship when the other person shows up as their wisest and most centered selves is the Page of Cups. And this is such a beautiful energy to be receiving from this relationship. This tells me that the other person brings to this relationship a sense of fun and play and wonder, that they may be very tapped in with their inner child and can help you to see the world through the eyes of your own, through eyes that are fresh and sparkling, and see the world as a wide, magical expanse to explore and to adventure through. An energy like this is hard to come by, especially in an adult relationship. And it is to be cherished. It is something to be incredibly grateful for. Let yourself play with this person. Let yourself see them in the way that a child sees someone they love, with their full heart. Now we come to the Queen of Cups as where there could be some improvement in the relationship, where things may be a little out of balance. And relationships, they ebb and flow, they shift, they change. It doesn't mean that there's anything terribly wrong here. There's always room for improvement. We don't always show up as our wisest, most centered selves, and that's okay. And the Queen of Cups is letting us know that there may be a little too much emotional entanglement in this relationship at this moment in time, which, by the way, is whenever you find this video. The Queen of Cups is asking, do you have enough emotional space? Because we are in hermit energy. We are going deep within. And oh geez, that might have been a garbage truck. I'm sorry about that if you could hear it. But the Queen of Cups is asking us, yeah, do you have enough emotional space for yourself? Do they have enough emotional space for themselves? Self? Grammar. The Queen of Cups is a very internal card. It is one not dissimilar to the Hermit of self-exploration. It is a card that connects us to our deepest emotional waters and reminds us that we are the ocean. We are not the droplet in the water. We are not the wave that crashes on the shore. Well, we are, but we are the entire ocean too. And touching in with that kind of wisdom, it does take some work. Being able to hold the vast ocean of our being, we have to be able to take space in order to do this. So if there isn't enough space for that in this particular relationship, that might be something to work on. That might be something to improve. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, as the root cause of the imbalance, is asking, do you have your own dreams? Or are all your dreams focused on this particular relationship? Here we see a seed offered, a seed we desire to plant, a dream, a wish, for the future. What are your dreams for yourself, and what are your dreams for the relationship? Are they tangled up in a mutual future that doesn't leave a lot of room for your individual wishes? And also, is this true for your partner? The Ace of Pentacles asks us to really get in touch with what it is that we desire. What seeds need, want, must be planted in order for your soul experience to thrive? If all of your dreams are mutual dreams, that is not necessarily a recipe for health. Mutual dreams are beautiful, but they are only one part of what we are planting for the future. This entire reading is telling me to get a little selfish, to really think about who you are and what you want as an individual, so that you can bring your best self to this relationship, so that things don't become codependent, so that you are both meeting each other as wise adults. We have come to our last card, the Emperor. And the Emperor is our card for the health of this relationship. And the Emperor teaches us about taking up space. The Emperor reminds us that we are allowed to be our loudest, most authentic self in any space we enter. It also teaches us how to remember that others are allowed to do the exact same thing. Are you creating the space that the other person in this relationship needs in order to feel heard and accepted, in order to bring forward their full, most beautiful and authentic self. Sorry, that was another garbage truck, I think. The Emperor says, you are the ruler of yourself, and so is everyone else their own ruler. What kind of ruler are you in this particular relationship when it comes to yourself? Are there parts, instances, patterns of making yourself small? Are there particular situations where you try to make the other person small? Where you get uncomfortable with their feelings, their desires, and how can both of you be emperors in relationship to each other? I think this reading is really letting us know that we must remember that our first relationship is to ourself, and that in strengthening that relationship, in giving space for self-exploration, for our own dreams, in doing that and in making sure our partner is able to do that, then the relationship has the potential to be as full and rich as it is meant to be. This will help the relationship to thrive. Okay, that was your reading. I very much hope it gave you something to reflect on and apply in your life. If you enjoyed this reading, please do like, comment, subscribe. It really helps this channel out. Until our next video, I hope you have a wonderful night.